This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
It started out as a routine mission.
Eagle one down! Eagle one down!
But became an impossible rescue.
You must follow me now.
Now, an elite group of armed forces has one chance to get their best pilot out of enemy hands. But only if one soldier
Lieutenant McTalbot says we got new orders.
is willing to do the impossible.
Our job is to get there first and get our Marines back.
Where the hunt ends, the real battle begins. Mark Dacascos, Theresa Randle, and Rutger Hauer. The Hunt for Eagle One. Now available on DVD.
The Elite Strike Force team is back, taking down terrorists before they take down Flight 402. On their last mission, he saved her life. This time, it's payback time. Mark Dacascos and Theresa Randle take action-adventure to new heights in The Hunt for Eagle One, Crash Point.
Welcome all. So, can't get enough of Roger Corman on this beloved podcast. The man has left us, but his massive filmography will always have some new gems rediscovered every time. Talking about a franchise I saw back in college that was reasonable, but gonna vary by audience. And again, Corman loves to repeat himself. He loves to do a mixture, often involving men on a mission, and he acquired Michael Henry Carter, whose only other credit prior to this was a sci-fi take on Corman's martial art franchise, the Blood Fist films. He's pretty much doing what he did with the Robert Patrick starring Eye of the Eagle, Behind Enemy Lines, 80s movies, much like he did with Jack Nicholson in the World War II movies he shot in the 60s. He's making use of Iron Chef and the Crow TV show star Mark Dacascos. By this point, Dacascos had done Brotherhood of the Wolf and Stargate Atlantis and Only the Strong and a bunch of other awesome HBO premiered movies. He has since been able to be on other shows like Hawaii Five-0, Assassins, and John Wick Chapter 3. Still putting them out and still being very reasonable and really awesome. Whenever I see him in a production, I just light up. I know he can deliver some reasonable acting regardless of whether the production allows him to or not. And even if I'm disappointed, he's not awful in it. Recently was on the HBO Cinemax show Warriors, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah, this was another one he did in the 2000s, just staying busy in between TV guest star gigs. And this is what I thought was interesting. It definitely was one of those $100 million movies that looked bigger than it was. And I think that's what was really cool too, is Corman was taking reused footage from Sergio Santiago's Operation Balacatan, one of his other Filipino movies he did for him on the cheap, and mixing it in with some legit stuff. So the main applause of both these movies is, again, just movie one was kind of average, but it stood out because Rutger Hauer was the main general in charge, chopping a cigarette, doing his awesome Rutger Hauer thing, including amusing lines where he lets out "the Pentagon can kiss my ass."
Are you specifically targeting Abu Bakr al-Hassan, who fought in Afghanistan?
This is a serious game, and we are pursuing AKD leaders. And we'll catch them, that's all there's to it. While our forces will be driving the rebels west, General Bonduk's army will be pushing the AKD brigade into the valley.
As Captain Escalona is finally saying, we know more about where the rebels are than they do themselves.
I see how all this helps with their rebel problem here, but how are we doing in the war against the AKD?
Certain fractions of the rebels are AKD.
Right, but the Mindanao rebels have been fighting the Philippine government for more than 30 years. Now suddenly you've decided they're AKD. Why?
We believe that their withdrawal from the peace negotiations and the recent surge in bombings and kidnappings are directly related to AKD.
The Philippine government is certain of this.
Absolutely.
These movies should definitely be checked out because not just, I'll get to the star power of the remaining stuff here in a bit. These were the perfect blend. So director Brian Clyde, had done some other reasonable stuff for Corman in the past. He's still working to this day, doing some indie stuff. He later teams up again with Corman and Mark Dacascos on a similar film called Operation Rogue. But what was really neat was he's just always just made great use of his budgets and making his productions look bigger than they actually are. And again, still working, still making use. Like any good Corman veteran, you are going to keep evolving. And so I think that's why I really like this guy. Now, second of all, this movie, again, looks bigger than it actually is. Like, when you know it, you can tell. Like, it's not the most accurate, but it looks just as big as, say, it was distributed by Sony, and I can't blame them. It's trying to look like another big, large-scale, good war movie like Black Hawk Down or Courage Under Fire. And then at the same time, it's also for those who just want an easygoing Sunday night movie that, again, for those who like indie, low-budget B-movie cinema. So for those who also just want a simple Commando, Operation Delta Force kind of movie, you're going to be entertained there. So it really does hit all the marks. This is the rare mixture of making all different kinds of crowds happy. So for those who like these actors, you're going to like what they do here. For those who like, again, some of the action films that starred Van Damme or Wesley Snipes that were Men on a Mission movies, same kind of crowd, you're going to be entertained there. And then those who, again, want a decent movie that looks almost as good as, again, a big scale thing like Behind Enemy Lines or Strike Back, you're going to be entertained there too. So, again, it's just making everybody happy. So if you want to see the usual Roger Corman stuff, you're going to be entertained. If you want to see, again, what some of the other cast and crew have done, you'll like it too. And I first heard about these movies just because they were being promoted on other war movie blogs and independent action movie sites, and they liked them as well. It really is some reasonable staging, blocking. Nothing is poorly lit, and I'm sure war movie veterans are gonna nitpick a few things, but for the most part, it does more things right than wrong. And reasonable tracking shots, nothing shaky. And Mark Dacascos is in it to win it. Really solid lead. He's doing his usual thing and makes for an awesome lieutenant. Now, the captain who he helps out, who's like doing some medic stuff and also shooting and helping him out, is played by none other than Theresa Randle. Absolute cutie. Many will recognize her as Martin Lawrence's wife in the Bad Boys films. She occasionally does a few things. Once in a while, she's guest starred on Seinfeld and Different World, and was briefly on Law and Order: Criminal Intent. And yeah, I wondered what happened to her because I hadn't seen her in a while. I'd seen her in Beverly Hills Cop 3. I'd seen her in some of Spike Lee's movies like Jungle Fever and Malcolm X, and as well as The Five Heartbeats and King of New York. But I didn't know what happened then. But I'd been a fan since Space Jam. I always thought she was neat, and this was also just kind of a good excuse too. If you don't see anyone doing a cool thing in a mainstream thing, it's cool to see them do it in a B movie, low budget entry. So she makes for a decent ass kicker. And again, it's a shame that Rutger Hauer is not in the sequel, but just like a typical movie, like it's the typical Corman's factory thing, which is film these back to back and then expand on them, make use of them, use them well. And it was really solid. I didn't have any issue. And I think movie 1 got a little repetitive, but movie 2, which was, the first one was Hunt for Eagle 1, and then the second one had an unusual subtitle. It was not Strike Force. It was, sorry, didn't have it in front of me. Crash Point, yes. Almost said Strike Force. And yeah, it was the typical try to go after pirates. And first one is going after guys who acquired a biological weapon. Movie 2 was going after a stolen ground control encoder that's a new anti-hijack device. So decent effects there. Overall, very solid stuff. Nothing that got me to the point of, hey, you didn't even try. But yeah, movie 2 was way more fast-paced, had way more awesome, machine guns and grenade launching and copter rescues. So that is the bigger bang for your buck. If you don't care for movie 1, still just check out movie 2, and you'll be very entertained by what they do with it. And I also liked how just the terrorist concept is like they're trying to use it to crash jetliners and then steal some stuff in a secret military compound. So yeah, very solid use of everyone's talent. Yeah, and again, it's a rare mixture of the best of all worlds. And some other Roger Corman regulars that director Brian Clyde have worked with are also in here. Jeff Fahey gets to be in movie 2. Zach McGowan, who's a mixed actor, also gets to appear. And his career is really taken off. He's not related to anybody also with the McGowan name, but yeah, he's been on Shameless, The 100, Death Race, Beyond Anarchy. So there you go. There's a Corman factor. I knew him from the Scorpion King 5 Book of Souls, and he's appeared on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as the Superior, as well as one of the leads on Starz' Black Sails TV show. So there you go. If he's not working for Michael Bay or Universal, he's working for Roger Corman. And he seems like a very lovely guy. Like, he's been in other stuff people might know way better, like Robert the Bruce, Dracula Untold, Murder at Yellowstone City, and The Brawler. So another future A-lister who's just kind of like a Jason Momoa, this type. Just he can be in all these B mid-budget stuff as well as some bigger stuff. I love it. I love these chameleons. Yeah, these movies are very solid. If you've seen them probably by now in a gazillion things. You probably have seen them in, again, just so many different DVD packs and Blu-ray packs or on streaming, and go for it. See them. Well worth your time.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small-town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say breakfast? Every week on Breakfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in, it's breakfast time. Listen at breakfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up